Welcome to Hypnosis and You, a perfect partnership. I'm George Bien. That previous scene may seem a bit far-fetched to most of us. However, even to this day, hypnosis is still clouded by myth and misunderstanding. Hypnosis has been featured dramatically in stage shows, novels, and certainly on the big screen, the movies. Have you ever seen that 1919 German horror classic, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, where a doctor hypnotizes a man into becoming his zombie-like slave? And of course, we have the old Bela Lugosi vampire films of the 1930s and 40s, where Lugosi simply fixates his red-eyed gaze on a victim, who then becomes a slave to the commands of Count Dracula. A drama certainly makes for exciting stage shows, novels, and movies. After all, they sensationalize and stir up our emotions. Many of us have experienced a sleepless night after reading a Stephen King novel. And we read these novels and watch these movies, expecting them to engage us, and at times, even terrify us. But what about books we trust to give us correct information? Well, let's take a look at one of them. Webster's New Universal Unabridged Dictionary defines hypnosis as a sleep-like condition, psychically induced, usually by another person, in which the subject loses consciousness, but responds with certain limitations to the suggestions of the hypnotist. Let's take a closer look at that definition. A sleep-like condition. Now, this sounds like it's a disease of some kind. I don't know about you, but I certainly wouldn't want to be afflicted with a condition. Psychically induced, usually by another person. I guess they mean that this person psychs you out. He or she must have some special power that could put me under their control. The subject loses consciousness. I guess they mean that the person gets knocked out, but responds with certain limitations. Huh? Now that's a contradiction. If someone is unconscious, how is it that they are responding? And if they're responding with certain limitations, just how effective could this process really be? Yes, even books that we trust and rely on are still filled with misinformation about hypnosis. Fortunately, the extraordinary effectiveness of hypnosis has been demonstrated in virtually every arena: medicine, dentistry, law enforcement, sports, business, education, music, and so much more. And its worldwide usage is growing exponentially. So let's first take a brief look at some of the origins of hypnosis. Now, to do this, we have to travel back in time to ancient Egypt. So let's begin our journey. The Ebers Papyrus is an ancient Egyptian document that describes techniques of healing, regarded by many researchers as early instances of hypnosis. Sleep temples under the direction of Imhotep, high priest of the sun god Ra, were hospitals of sorts in those days. The priests in these sleep temples used hypnotic-like procedures when they gave curative suggestions to sufferers who came in and sought their aid. Sleep temples continued to rise in Egypt, Greece, and Rome, and were among the original holistic healing centers where various healing techniques, including hypnosis, were utilized. Now, we could spend hours discussing the civilizations and cultures that utilized hypnotic-like techniques. But let's now take a quick jump forward to the 18th century. I'm sure you've heard of mesmerism. Well, the word had its origins with Franz Anton Mesmer, an Austrian physician who lived from 1734 to 1815. And he's acknowledged by many as the father of modern hypnosis. His theory, called animal magnetism, was based upon the idea that there existed magnetic fluids in nature, which could be used to rid the body and mind of many diseases. Mesmer developed trance-like techniques of touching, stroking, hypnotic stares, and waving of magnetic wands to remedy cosmic fluid imbalance in his patients. Well, Mesmer was curing people left and right, but he got a bit taken up with himself. So in 1784, King Louis XVI of France established a committee consisting of some of the most famous doctors and naturalists of the age in order to investigate Mesmer's mysterious animal magnetism. The committee's members included Anton Lavoisier and Benjamin Franklin. The report of the commission concluded that Mesmer's magnetic rays didn't exist, and any benefits from such treatment came from autosuggestion. Autosuggestion. Sure sounds like hypnosis. The term hypnotism was actually coined in 1843 by Scottish surgeon James Braid, named after the Greek god of sleep, Hypnos. Braid thought of hypnotism as producing a nervous sleep which differed from ordinary sleep. Now, Braid eventually realized that the hypnotic subject is never really asleep, so he changed the word to monoideism, meaning one thought or idea. Well, the new term never made the top 10 list. And the word hypnotism, a misnomer, continues to this day. In 1834, Dr. John Elliotson, an English surgeon, reported numerous painless surgical operations that had been performed using mesmerism. Influenced by Elliotson, Dr. James Airsdale performed 345 major operations using hypnotic-like techniques as the sole anesthesia in British India. In World War I, World War II, and the Korean War, the use of hypnosis in the treatment of neurosis was widespread, especially in the treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder.